Hey everybody, got a video here for you today. I just thought I'd document another ancient site here. This time we are going down to the Mayan site of Piedras Negras down here on the border of Guatemala and Mexico. This is where the site sits today on the Usumacinta River, right down here. This is only accessible by boat. I guess it's pretty hard to get to. The ruins are right down here underneath the jungle canopy. You can't see very much from overhead. This is where you have to get off your boat, and then the ruins are just right up here under the trees, and there is pyramids, there's whole city, a lot of stonework, stelas, pretty much the whole works right under here. Probably one structure right there. Here's a look at the Usumacinta River and the valley it's in. And this site is very hard to get to, and this is part of the reason why. And there's just not much out here, probably the reason no excavation work or why these pyramids haven't been uncovered. Part of the reason why I'm doing this video is I tried to find this site on Google Earth before and realized there was nothing to be seen. But I was watching a TV show from Nat Geo just a little while ago, and they were showing some people up here looking at these ruins, and I thought it was fascinating. But right down here, an excavation work will probably come to a halt in our present world, and I can't imagine even wanting to travel in the next year. Right down here, these are where the ruins are found. Let's just take a look at what was under here. Here's a map of the site from the late 1800s. A gentleman was up here. You notice a lot of these pyramid type structures are built right into the hillside. That's kind of reminiscent of a video I did about a month ago about a very, very large pyramid down here. There are a couple ball courts down here. A lot of stonework, stelas. This place has it all. Now, the site was visited in the late 1800s, mapped by a guy named Mailer, and then a little while later, in the early 1900s, a guy named Morley showed up and photographed the site. Let's take a look at a few of those pics. A lot of the rulers here are associated with the turtle gods, and a lot of them have turtle in their name and different things associated with turtles in their names and descriptions. Here is an altar photographed here about 120 years ago. Here's another pic, and I believe 1901 is the year of these, but a huge stone slab here. And these are off structures, and a lot of these have glyphs on the side. We'll take a look at a few of those coming up. But the dating of this place, it's mainly attached to the classic period around 1400 years ago. But if you read anywhere on this site, it says there are clear signs that this site goes back to at least 2500 years ago, 500 BC, and maybe farther back. 1000 BC is another date that comes up in some of the dating here. But here is another look, some sort of altar here. You notice the designs on the pedestals down below. But the original name of this place is Gokib, and that translates to the entrance. Here's a look at another stone structure here, and the face. That just reminds me of that Olmec cave video I made a few months ago. But certainly, I'm sure this place had a lot of deep meaning here with what is represented here. And this site here is attached to some caves nearby where they have found artifacts in. There were many, many stelas found here, mostly attached to the classic period. And I said around 1500 years ago, but there is evidence here of it going back a lot further than that. Here is a look at some of the stelas. Here is another stela found at the site. Pretty intricate. I'm sure these boxes and glyphs here have to do with the dating or the way time periods went here. But that certainly depicts a king there. These slabs found at the site, some of them are the tops for altars, some are the side of structures. Here you see the glyphs on the side of this huge slab here. I will leave a few links below. Here are a few of the ruins. Big slab with the glyphs on the side, that face structure. Nice waterfalls in the area. Here are some of the ruins found under the jungle here. Somebody looking at some pottery fragments. A stela on the right there. More ruins. Piece of decorated pottery. Big slab. More ruins under the jungle here. As far as the rulers down here and what these glyphs all mean and the stelas, I found this PDF, History Revealed in the Mayan Glyphs, at this place, and I thought it was very informative. I will leave the link below, but here He thinks this is what the place looked like about 1,300 years ago, but a lot of stone ruins under here, more than we know. Here's a jade mask found at the famous site at Chichen Itza, and it's made to represent the childhood name of a ruler here. Kuj is the translation, and that means Puma, but it has one of the rulers' names, Piedras Negras here, right on the glyphs here. Now here is kind of a blurry image, what's underneath the jungle canopy here, but you can clearly see the stairs leading up here and other things here, little stone walls and such. Here's a look at a chair found at the site made out of stone with the glyphs and the carvings of the leaders here. What that represents, I'm not sure, but that looks really cool. Here is another old pick with ruins coming from here underneath the jungle. Still a lot to be explored today for sure. And I found this pick, same spot, coming from today. That is my video on Piedras Negras down here, right on the border of Mexico and Guatemala. I thought that was a pretty fascinating site. A lot of stone ruins, pyramids, stelas, stonework of all kinds. A site that not a lot of people have heard about. Not a lot of tourists come here. This is kind of out of the way site, right on the border down here. But a fascinating Mayan site. Had to have been pretty important. Seemed like this place is associated with a lot of other important Mayan cities. The history here probably goes back a lot farther than we know. Hope you thought that was cool. And you all have. Very safe day.